can you even believe that I'm telling this story to all of the internet? If you're already subscribed, welcome back, my baby. But if you have not yet subscribed, you're going to want to subscribe, and you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because we have a giveaway coming in the month of December. And in order to enter that giveaway, you must be subscribed. And the secret emoji for this video is on the screen right now. Would there be any other secret emoji for this video? No. So this is a story time that I am extremely embarrassed of. It is a fact. It did happen. Put it in the history books. So we're going to go back in time to a time in my life where I was head over heels with this guy. We had probably been dating about a month at this point, and I was in love with this guy. I mean, in freaking love with him. And you know, we were at that point where we were starting to spend the night with one another, and you know, and this in particular weekend, we had taken the whole weekend off to spend with one another. Thursday, get off of work, head over to his house. Friday, he gets a call from one of his buddies. He's like, hey, we're having a bonfire. You know, there's going to be a keg. You and your old lady come over. We were there. We were there, baby. Now, keep in mind, you guys, that on Saturday, we had plans with his family to go to Dollywood. Keep that in mind. So we go to the bonfire. Now, his friend lived 3 doors down with his wife and kids, and a whole bunch of people were there. So we're there. We're having a great time. Your girl got super drunk. Now, I do not remember, but like bits and pieces of this night up until I'm home, at his home anyways, puking, and he's standing there, and even drunk in my drunken stupor, I was so embarrassed. So the next morning, I wake up and I am in his boxers and his t-shirt. I don't really think anything of it. I move on. He's not in the bed, okay? He's in the shower. I just go ahead and I go on about, and I check my phone, and I have some texts from some mutual friends that were at the bonfire the night before. One of the girls is like, oh my gosh, girl, I cannot believe what happened last night, da da da. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, oh, don't even tell me you don't remember. Don't play that. And I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, oh, you puked all over, we'll call him David, my boyfriend at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, so embarrassed, mortified. And I was like, well, he's in the shower now. And she was like, oh, that's really weird, because when you guys left last night, like, y'all went home so he could go shower. He had one bathroom in his house. It felt like I stunk. Like, I mean, you can smell yourself stink. Like, I stunk, okay? He gets out of the shower and he sees me awake, and he was like, oh, you know, don't be mad, but I didn't want to wake you up. I wanted to let you sleep, but you need to go take a shower. I'm like, I know, I stink. I just don't know what it is. He was like, I just don't want you to be embarrassed. It's not a big deal. I'm totally okay. I just want you to know this. And I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do? Like, and I'm like, did you sleep with like the puke on you? And he was like, no, I took a shower last night and I washed you as well. And he was like, you're in my clothes, da da da. Well, preface, at the party the night before, his buddy had made these like crazy hot wings. I don't remember eating the wings, but apparently I ate about 7 of them. He then proceeds to look me in the eyes and tell me,
Morgan, about an hour ago, I woke up and you had diarrheaed all over me.
I was like, what? You didn't wake me up?
He was like, no, like, you were so sick last night, I just wanted to let you sleep.
And I was like, oh my God, you let me lay in poop?
And he was like, well, I cleaned you as much as I could, but I just didn't want to wake you up, and you weren't waking up. You know, I was gonna wake you up when I got out of the shower.
I was like, oh my gosh, David, so you're telling me that you let me lay there in basically my shit while you were in the shower? Oh my gosh.
Guys, when I woke up, I didn't even like notice nothing. Like, you know, you're in like that drunken haze. And he was so sweet. He had, you know, ibuprofen sitting on the end table and some orange juice and like super sweet. So I just got up, took some ibuprofen, whatever. Like you know, and then once I started like moving around, I was like,
damn, bitch, like you stink.
You really stink. So then we go in the bedroom. I didn't even notice this when I first woke up, but he had taken like the big comforter and sheet off of his bed. I was covered up with a bathrobe. He's like,
well, I took the comforter and the main sheet off because like I just threw it away.
I was like, okay, you all. When I tell you guys that like I pooed all over his freaking bed. It looked like something that wasn't even normal. And he was like,
yeah, he was like, I woke up like an hour before that happened and I'm sick.
A bunch of people ended up like getting diarrhea from these freaking wings. But I guess I was in such like a drunken stupor that I just shit myself in the bed with my basically brand new boyfriend that I was like madly obsessed, like in love with this guy.
I was mortified. I was mortified.
And like, guys, even though like he was so sweet and like he didn't act like it bothered him, it bothered me, which ruined like the rest of the weekend. And obviously like my first time meeting them wasn't what I hoped it was gonna be, because I was just like all in my head about
pooping on my new boyfriend.
What in the fuck is my life? So now we're gonna fast forward about 13 months. We've been together. We're living together at this point. And this kind of bleeds into the pregnancy that I had when I was 21 years old. So I'm pregnant. I'm about a month and a half, almost 2 months pregnant at this point. And I had extreme morning sickness. Bad. Very bad.
And I look at David and I'm like, David, I'm about to get sick.
And he's like, we'll go to the bathroom.
And I don't know like what came over me, but like it was almost as if like I couldn't move my body. Like I felt so sick to my stomach I couldn't move my body. And I just like, I remember like shaking my head like, no, it ain't gonna happen.
He's like, what do you mean no?
And I'm like, so embarrassing. But I then proceed to exorcist projectile vomit in the IHOP on Merchants Road in Knoxville, if you know where that's at. And because the pressure from me vomiting was so strong, I also sharted. And if you're unaware of what a shart is, it is a fart/shit your pants. You all, within basically a year period, I shit myself twice in front of this man. And that is the story time of the time that I shit on my boyfriend / shit myself in a restaurant. I hope this was entertaining for you guys. I hope you guys got a laugh. I cannot believe that I just told the internet about the time that I shit on my boyfriend. Like, what the hell is even my life telling these stories? But you guys, I wish that this was the only time something like this happened. It is the only time that I ever shit on a boyfriend, but I do have another story time that's kind of similar to this that I will tell in the future. Please do be sure that you are subscribed. You can follow all of my social medias down below. And until next time.